welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you all about 5 different Halloween reads that I think will be perfect for you to cozy up with on Halloween day. So these are all books that I've read in the past that I think have like the perfect spooky vibes to them in order to make a really good atmospheric read for Halloween day. So I'm always like really particular about what I read on Halloween day. It is my favorite holiday. I love it more than Christmas. I love it more than anything. And I always love to curl up with a good book, a nice cup of like hot chocolate or cup of coffee, curl up on my couch and just like take in all the spooky vibes. So I love curating a perfect to be read list for Halloween, and I wanted to assist you guys in doing the same thing this year. So the first book that we are going to talk about is actually an Agatha Christie book, and it is called Halloween Party. So this one, as you can imagine, it's called Halloween Party, so it's going to have the perfect vibes for Halloween day. And this book takes place at a Halloween party, and it is all about Joyce, who is a 13-year-old hostile teenager who boasts at this Halloween party that she has once witnessed a murder. Of course, nobody in attendance in this party believes her. They think she's just, you know, making things up. She's 13 years old. She's dramatic, whatever. But by the end of the party, Joyce has gone missing, and she is actually found later on still at the party but drowned in the apple bobbing tub. This book talks all about her murder and trying to figure out who did the murder, and was it a double murder? Because if this girl is claiming that she saw a murder take place, was the same person that did that murder, did the same person murder Joyce as well? So it's a classic Agatha Christie book, a classic whodunit. There's nobody that writes mysteries better than Agatha Christie, in my opinion. I love Agatha Christie, and Halloween Party is definitely one that you should consider reading this Halloween. The next book that we are going to talk about is Spellbook of the Lost and Found by Moira Fowley Doyle. That is always such a hard name for me to say. But I read this one a couple of years ago, and I actually heard about this one from a different booktube channel, Haley in Bookland. She had this on her TBR for quite a while, and I remembered taking an interest in it when she was talking about what it was about, but I could never remember what the book was called. And I like tried to remember it for forever. I tried to go back and find out which video that she had talked about it in. And finally one time I found the video again, and I like wrote it down right away that I wanted to get this and read this because it sounded so interesting to me. And this one is really perfect, like witchy season. It's about witches and friendship, and it talks in like alternating voices. It's about women, like, you know, standing up for each other, but it's set in this really like eerie town and with new friends, and it alternates between a new voice and an old voice, and there's different like timelines that are going along on the same time. I'm not making this make sense. I realize as I'm saying this, you guys are probably like, what are you talking about? I'm just gonna read the jacket because I don't think I'm doing this book justice whatsoever by how I'm talking about it, because I'm clearly the best booktuber ever. So the synopsis says, one stormy summer in a small Irish town, things begin to disappear. It starts with trivial stuff, hair clips, house keys, socks, but soon it escalates to bigger things, a memory, a heart, a classmate. Olive can tell that her best friend Rose is different all of a sudden. Rose isn't talking, and Olive starts to worry she's losing her. Then, diary pages written by someone named Laurel begin to appear all over town, and Olive meets 3 mysterious strangers, Ivy, Hazel, and her twin brother Rowan, secretly squatting in an abandoned housing development. The trio are wild and alluring, but they seem lost too, and like Rose, they're holding tightly to painful secrets. When a tattered handwritten spellbook falls into the lives of these 6 teenagers, it changes everything. The spellbook is full of charms to conjure back that which has been lost, and it lists a part for each of them to play in the calling. It might be their best chance to set everything back to rights, but only if they're willing to pay the price. Told in the alternating voices of Olive, Laurel, and Hazel, this story lies at the intersection of the real and the magical, the tragic and the miraculous, the bone-chilling and the tender. So like I said, it's about, you know, like womanhood and friendship and witches, and it's just like, it's got such an eerie atmosphere woven throughout it. And I just love, like, it's a book about witchcraft basically, and people like coming into finding like family secrets, and there's just all sorts of different sort of twists and turns in this book, and I really enjoyed it. And I think, like I said, the atmosphere is perfect for Halloween Day. The next book that we're going to be talking about is The Beast is an Animal by Peter Nell Van Arsdale. And this one I read, I think 2 years ago-ish, and it is super creepy. So it takes place like a long time ago. It doesn't say, I don't think, what year it actually takes place in, but you want to almost think it's like in the 1700s sort of thing. It's quite a while ago. And it's about a small village who believe in something called the Beast. Now, Alice is our protagonist in this story, and she has seen the Beast. She saw the Beast when she was just a young girl, and the entire town is afraid of it. They offer up offerings to the Beast in order to keep them safe. They have kids on watch at all times. Always kids that are on watch at all times, like throughout 24 hours a day. There's always somebody on watch around this gated little village because they're terrified of the Beast entering. And if anybody sees anything weird or peculiar or strange, they're to alert the entire town. And that's kind of where this story is set, in this, like, honestly kind of like a sad little village, and then they're all on edge because of this beast that they are terrified of. Now it says, Alice was 7 the first time she saw the Soul Eaters. Twin sisters, they radiated an energy that excited Alice. Through them she felt the wildness of the forest and the beast within it. Too late she learned of their power to destroy. At 15, Alice knows too much about both the lure and the danger of the Soul Eaters. She lives in a world of adults who are terrified of their power. Fear of the Soul Eaters and of the Beast rules their lives. Even more, they fear the ways in which the Beast may lurk among them and in a girl like Alice. As the threat posed by the Soul Eaters grows, Alice must undertake a journey through the wild danger of the forest. So basically there's an attack of some sorts, I guess, that sets this girl off on her own path. But the greatest danger is not outside her. Alice hides a truth about herself that she can reveal to no one. Alice's secret about who and what she is terrifies her most of all. And in order to save her world, she must also risk losing herself. So this one has, once again, that perfect witchy Halloween feel to it. A lot of it is set in the woods. A lot of it is traveling from place to place, kind of running from these Soul Eaters. And there is definitely a twist at the end of the book as well. The next book we're going to speak about is called Help for the Haunted by John Serles, and this one follows a young girl whose name is Sylvie, and her parents are paranormal investigators, I guess you would call them. And in the middle of the night, when she is just a young child, they get a phone call and they wake her up. This is not the first time that they've done this. They wake her up and they take her with them. They let her sleep in the car, and they travel to this church that's a little ways outside of their town. She's left sleeping in the car, but her parents are going, to help somebody. There's either an exorcism or some sort of like issue with a haunting going on, and they're going to help whoever was on the phone. But so Sylvie is left sleeping as her parents go into this church, and a little while later she is awoken to gunshots, and her parents are never found again. So Sylvie ends up being left with her older sister, and they are left in their family home. This is now years later, but there's definitely strange occurrences going on in the home, and there's secrets that are uncovered, and she's trying to find out who did this to her parents. And there's a haunting situation, like I said, going on in the home. It seems as though their house is now haunted. Their parents used to bring back haunted objects, and they had like a little almost museum downstairs in the basement, but they told Sylvie to never go down in the basement. So even now, as a teenager, she still never has gone down in the basement, and she's scared to, even though she's hearing all these strange noises coming from the basement, and she's not sure what she should do. But yeah, so there is a mystery that follows, that she finds out a lot of things about her parents and about other hidden family secrets. I don't want to give too much away. This one is really good. Very spooky, deals with different things, like obviously deals with the murder, so there's like kind of like a thriller aspect to it, but then there's also the paranormal aspect to it as well, with them being ghost hunters or paranormal investigators, and the fact that the home seems to be haunted as well. So I love books that deal with like two different types of scary. So the next book that we're going to talk about is actually a book that I read on audiobook fairly recently, and it is called The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. And this one follows our protagonist Hannah, who at the very beginning of the book ends up receiving an odd message from a young girl from her husband, and the only thing that it says on the paper is protect her. She imagines that the protect her is regarding her stepdaughter, whose name is Bailey, who absolutely hates Hannah. They are having a very hard time blending this family, and the daughter wants nothing to do with the new stepmother. But the stepmother, Hannah, is trying so hard. She always tries so hard, but the daughter wants nothing to do with it. So Hannah receives this message from her husband saying protect her, and then he goes completely missing. He will not answer his phone, he's not at work, he's not anywhere, he's just gone, like just like that, gone. And so Hannah is left trying to take care of Bailey. Bailey still wants nothing to do with Hannah, and an odd thing happens in that Bailey is left a huge duffel bag full of money from her father in her locker. And so when she comes home with this money, and that combined with the fact that the husband Owen is just gone, and then they start to find out some information about his work, about how there was some funds going missing, and it's like this big investigation going on. This big investigation is going on that's been like, they've been researching, that the cops have been researching this for years, and suddenly it's broken and now Owen is gone. So she's trying to find her husband, figure out what is going on, because she doesn't believe that her husband would be a willing participant in something like this. And she and her new stepdaughter end up traveling quite a far ways away, trying to figure out where her husband could be. And so they're kind of digging through his past a bit and trying to find out if he's really who he says he is, which it doesn't appear that he is. So of course there's some character growth in this story. We find out some extreme secrets about the husband. It's a huge, fast-paced thriller that I just like was listening. I could not put it down. I just had it in like all day. While I was going about my chores, when I was rocking my baby to sleep, I had it going nonstop because it was so interesting. I could not put it down. It was so fast paced, and you're just wondering this entire time, like, what is going on with this husband? And at the same time, like, even as you're finding things out about him, you like him. And it's not that he's like a horrible person or anything like that. You're just finding out sort of secrets about his past and trying to find out whether he's doing good or bad, if they're ever going to track him down. So, and of course we also have the growth of the relationship between the stepmother and the stepdaughter, as well as they are going on this trip to try to find Owen together. So that's also a huge part of it as well. So you guys, those are 5 spooky, eerie reads that I think would be perfect for you to pick up any one of those this Halloween and have that be your Halloween read. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of them or if you plan to read any of them, and what your thoughts on them were if you did read any of them before. So anyways, I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I hope you have an amazing Halloween season, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!